Have you ever met someone who seemed absolutely perfect, showering you with affection and attention from the very first moment, only to have everything change dramatically later? If you're an older woman navigating the dating world, what you experienced might not have been genuine love at all. It could have been something much more calculated and dangerous called love bombing. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot the 5 critical warning signs that could save your heart and protect your future. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, I'm so glad you found us. This channel is dedicated to empowering women, especially those of us who have lived, loved, and learned through the seasons of life. We talk about real issues, authentic relationships, and how to protect ourselves while still remaining open to genuine connections. Before we dive into today's crucial topic, I want to ask you for a small favor that makes a huge difference. If you find value in this video, please take a moment to hit that like button. It truly helps this content reach more women who need to hear this message. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so you never miss our empowering content. Your comments mean the world to me, so please share your thoughts and experiences below. I read every single one, and your stories help create a supportive community for all of us. And if you really want to support the work we do here and help us continue creating content that matters, consider using the Super Thanks feature. Your support allows us to keep producing videos that empower and protect women in every stage of life. Now, let's talk about something that doesn't get discussed enough, especially in communities of mature women: love bombing. You might have heard this term before, but do you really understand what it means and why it's particularly relevant for older women? More importantly, do you know how to recognize it when it's happening to you? As an older woman, you bring something incredibly valuable to any relationship: wisdom, experience, emotional maturity, and often financial stability. Unfortunately, these very qualities that make you an amazing partner can also make you a target for manipulators who use love bombing as their weapon of choice. They know that mature women have often experienced loss, perhaps from divorce or widowhood. They understand that you might be longing for companionship, and they exploit these vulnerabilities with precision. Love bombing isn't just excessive affection or someone being really into you. It's a calculated manipulation tactic used by narcissists, con artists, and emotional predators. It's the phase where they overwhelm you with attention, affection, gifts, and promises to quickly create an intense emotional bond. Once they've got you hooked, once you're emotionally invested and your defenses are down, that's when the mask drops. That's when the real abuse, manipulation, or exploitation begins. The reason this is so effective with older women is complex and deeply psychological. Many mature women have been conditioned by society and their generation to be caregivers, to see the best in people, and to value commitment and loyalty above all else. If you've been single for a while, whether by choice or circumstance, the sudden attention from someone who seems wonderful can feel like a dream come true. It can feel like finally, after perhaps years of loneliness or disappointment, love has found you again. But here's what you need to understand. Real love builds gradually. It's steady, consistent, and respectful. It doesn't rush you or pressure you. It doesn't feel like a whirlwind that sweeps you off your feet so fast you can't think straight. Genuine love gives you space to breathe, to think, to get to know someone authentically over time. Love bombing, on the other hand, is designed to short-circuit your critical thinking. It's meant to create such an intense emotional high that you ignore red flags, dismiss your instincts, and hand over your trust before you've had time to determine if it's deserved. Throughout this video, we're going to explore 5 major signs that you're being love bombed. These aren't just casual red flags. These are serious warning signs that should make you pause, step back, and reassess what's really happening in your relationship. I'll explain why each sign matters, how it manifests specifically in relationships with older women, and most importantly, what you can do to protect yourself. This information could save you from emotional devastation, financial loss, or worse. So please stay with me through the entire video. Take notes if you need to. Share this with friends who are dating. This information is too important to ignore. Let's begin with the first critical sign. Sign 1. Excessive and premature declarations of love. The first major sign that you're being love-bombed is when someone declares intense love, commitment, or talks about a future together way too soon, often within days or weeks of meeting you. Think about this carefully. How long does it really take to know someone well enough to love them? Not the idea of them, not the version they're presenting, but the real, complex, flawed human being they actually are. In healthy relationships, love develops over time. It grows as you share experiences, navigate challenges together, see each other in different contexts, and gradually build trust and understanding. But a love bomber doesn't have time for that natural progression. They need to hook you quickly before you have a chance to see who they really are. So they skip all those important stages and jump straight to declarations that should only come after months of genuine connection. You might hear things like, "I've never felt this way about anyone before. You're my soulmate. I've been searching for you my whole life. I can't imagine my future without you. I've never connected with anyone the way I connect with you. You're everything I've ever wanted." These words, when spoken after just a few dates or even a few weeks, should set off alarm bells in your mind. Now, I want to be very clear about something. I'm not saying that strong feelings can't develop relatively quickly. Sometimes there is an immediate chemistry or connection between two people. But there's a huge difference between feeling drawn to someone and declaring eternal love before you've even had a disagreement, before you've met each other's friends or family, before you've seen how they handle stress or disappointment. For older women, this tactic is particularly effective for several reasons. First, if you've been hurt in the past, these declarations might feel like the validation and appreciation you've been craving. After years of feeling invisible or undervalued, suddenly someone is telling you that you're extraordinary, that you're the one they've been waiting for. It's intoxicating. It can feel like proof that you're still desirable, still capable of inspiring passion, still worthy of grand romantic gestures. Second, many older women are at a stage in life where they want companionship and don't want to waste time on relationships that aren't going anywhere. A love bomber exploits this by creating the illusion that they're serious, committed, and ready for the real partnership you desire. They make it seem like you've found exactly what you've been looking for, so why would you question it or slow down? Third, and this is crucial, if you've had disappointing relationships where men were emotionally unavailable or unwilling to commit, this person's intense declarations can seem like the opposite. Like finally you found someone who's open, vulnerable, and not afraid to express their feelings. But emotional availability and love bombing are not the same thing. One is authentic and healthy, the other is manipulative and dangerous. Let me give you some specific examples of what premature declarations might look like. He tells you he loves you on the first date or within the first few conversations. He talks about marriage, moving in together, or blending your lives before you've even established a consistent dating pattern. He makes comments about growing old together or spending the rest of your lives together within weeks. He tells you he's already told his friends and family that he's met the woman he's going to marry. He starts making major plans that involve both of you, long vacations, buying property, starting businesses together, all within a very short time frame. He creates pet names or inside jokes that suggest a depth of intimacy that doesn't match the actual time you've known each other. Here's why this is so dangerous. When someone declares intense feelings prematurely, they're creating a psychological contract. They're making you feel obligated to reciprocate, to match their energy, to prove that you're as invested as they claim to be. If you express any hesitation or suggest slowing down, they might act hurt or accuse you of not feeling the same way. This creates pressure for you to suppress your doubts and move forward faster than you're comfortable with. Moreover, premature declarations create a false sense of security. You start to relax your boundaries and your scrutiny because you believe you're in a committed, serious relationship. You share personal information, perhaps give them access to your home, your finances, or your vulnerabilities, all based on declarations that haven't been tested by time or circumstances. So what should you do if you encounter this sign? First, trust your instincts. If something feels rushed or over the top, it probably is. Second, don't feel obligated to reciprocate declarations that don't match your actual feelings. It's okay to say, I care about you and I'm enjoying getting to know you, but I need more time before making declarations about forever. A genuine partner will respect that. A love bomber will push back or make you feel guilty. Third, watch for consistency over time. Talk is cheap, but actions over months reveal character. Does their behavior match their words? Are they consistently respectful, honest, and reliable? Or do you start to notice discrepancies between what they say and what they do? Remember, you've lived long enough to know that real love doesn't need to be rushed. Anyone who truly loves and respects you will be willing to build that love on a foundation of time, trust, and genuine knowledge of who you are. Don't let premature declarations sweep you into something before you're ready. Your caution isn't cynicism, it's wisdom. Sign 2, overwhelming attention and communication. The second critical sign of love bombing is when someone overwhelms you with constant attention, communication, and demands for your time, making it difficult for you to maintain your normal life. Relationships and personal boundaries. In the beginning, this might not seem like a problem at all. In fact, it might feel wonderful. After all, who doesn't want to feel desired and prioritized? If you've been in relationships where you felt neglected or taken for granted, this level of attention can seem like exactly what you've been missing. But there's a huge difference between healthy attentiveness and overwhelming obsession. A love bomber will contact you constantly throughout the day. We're not talking about a sweet good morning text and a check-in during the afternoon. We're talking about dozens of texts, multiple phone calls, and an expectation that you'll respond immediately. If you don't respond right away, they might send follow-up messages. Where are you? Are you okay? I miss you. Why aren't you answering? This creates an environment where you feel like you have to be constantly available, where your phone becomes a leash rather than a connection tool. They want to spend all their time with you, often to the exclusion of your other relationships and responsibilities. They might suggest spending every evening together, every weekend, cancelling plans with friends or family to be with them instead. They make it seem romantic, like they just can't bear to be away from you. But what they're actually doing is isolating you and making themselves the center of your world. For older women, this type of attention can be particularly seductive and particularly dangerous. Let me explain why. If you're retired or semi-retired, you might have more flexible time, which a love bomber will take full advantage of. They'll fill your schedule so completely that you don't have time to think, to check in with yourself, or to maintain the other important relationships in your life. If you've been widowed or divorced, you might be craving the companionship and daily interaction that you lost. A love bomber provides that immediately and intensely, filling the void so completely that you might not notice they're actually creating a different kind of void, the one where your independence and autonomy used to be. Many older women have spent years, even decades, putting others first, raising children, supporting partners, caring for aging parents. If you're finally at a stage where you have time for yourself, a love bomber's attention might feel like someone finally putting you first. But healthy love doesn't require you to sacrifice your autonomy. Manipulation does. Let me give you specific examples of what overwhelming attention looks like. He texts you from the moment you wake up until you go to sleep, sometimes 50, 70, even 100 times a day. He calls multiple times daily and seems hurt or annoyed if you don't answer, or if you keep the conversation short because you're busy. He shows up at your home, workplace, or where you're meeting friends without being invited, framing it as a romantic surprise, but really checking on you and inserting himself into all aspects of your life. He makes you feel guilty for spending time with friends or family, saying things like, "I thought you wanted to spend time with me," or "Don't you miss me?" He monopolizes your weekends and evenings, creating elaborate plans that make it difficult for you to maintain your own routines and relationships. He gets upset if you want alone time, suggesting that needing space means you don't care about him as much as he cares about you. He monitors your social media activity, commenting immediately on anything you post, asking about people who interact with your posts, and making you feel like you're under constant surveillance. He wants to know your schedule in detail, where you're going, who you'll be with, when you'll be back, framing it as care and concern, but really establishing a level of control. Here's why this is so harmful. Constant attention and communication serve several manipulative purposes. First, they keep you in a heightened emotional state. You're always anticipating the next message, the next call, the next interaction. This creates an addictive cycle where you become emotionally dependent on their attention. When they inevitably withdraw it later as a punishment or control tactic, you'll feel desperate to get it back. Second, overwhelming attention prevents you from thinking clearly. When someone takes up all your mental and emotional space, you don't have room to reflect on the relationship objectively. You can't step back and assess whether this is really healthy or right for you because you're constantly engaged, constantly responding, constantly in reaction mode. Third, this level of attention isolates you from your support system. Friends and family who might offer perspective or raise concerns about the relationship get pushed to the sidelines. You stop maintaining those connections because all your time and energy goes to this one person. Then, if and when things go wrong, you find yourself alone without the support network you once had. Fourth, constant communication establishes a level of control. When someone expects immediate responses and gets upset if they don't receive them, they're training you to prioritize their needs above everything else. Your work, your other relationships, your self-care, even your sleep. This sets the stage for future manipulation and abuse because you've already learned that keeping them happy requires sacrificing your own boundaries and needs. So how do you distinguish between someone who's genuinely interested and excited about you versus someone who's love-bombing you with attention? Here are some key differences. A person who genuinely cares about you will respect your time and boundaries. They'll understand that you have a life, responsibilities, and relationships that existed before they came along. They won't try to replace everything and everyone else in your life. Someone who genuinely loves you will encourage your independence and your other relationships. They'll be happy that you have friends, hobbies, and interests that don't involve them because they want you to be a whole, fulfilled person, not an extension of themselves. A healthy partner will communicate regularly, but appropriately. They'll check in, share their day, make plans, express affection, but they won't require constant contact or make you feel guilty for having periods where you're focused on other things. Real love is secure enough to give you space. Love bombing is insecure and controlling, needing to maintain constant contact to keep you engaged and to prevent you from thinking clearly about what's really happening. What should you do if you recognize this sign? First, establish and maintain boundaries. It's okay to say, "I enjoy talking with you, but I need to focus on my work now," or "I'm spending today with my daughter and won't be available to text." A healthy person will respect that. A love bomber will resist it. Second, don't let anyone isolate you from your existing relationships. Make it a priority to maintain your friendships, family connections, and activities that are important to you. If someone truly cares about you, they'll want you to have a rich, full life, not one that revolves entirely around them. Third, notice how you feel. Does this person's attention make you feel energized and happy, or does it feel exhausting and overwhelming? Are you feeling more like yourself or less? Are you maintaining your sense of identity or losing it in the intensity of this relationship? Remember, you deserve love that enhances your life, not one that consumes it. You deserve a partner who respects your autonomy, not one who needs to be the center of your universe. Trust your wisdom. If it feels like too much, too fast, too intense, honor that feeling. It's your intuition protecting you. Sign 3. Excessive gift-giving and grand gestures. The third major sign of love bombing is when someone showers you with excessive gifts, grand romantic gestures and over-the-top displays of affection that seem disproportionate to how long you've known each other. Now, let me be clear from the start. There's nothing wrong with gift-giving or romantic gestures. These can be beautiful expressions of genuine care and affection. The problem arises when these gifts and gestures are excessive, premature, and seem designed to overwhelm you rather than simply delight you. When someone is love-bombing you, gifts become a tool of manipulation rather than an expression of thoughtfulness. A love bomber uses gifts to create several things: obligation, emotional debt, and the illusion of serious commitment. They give you expensive presents, plan elaborate dates, make grand gestures that sweep you off your feet, and in doing so, they make you feel like you owe them something in return. They create a sense of indebtedness that makes it harder for you to walk away or establish boundaries. For older women, this tactic can be especially effective and especially dangerous. Let me explain the specific ways this manifests and why it's problematic. If you're a woman of a certain age, you've likely worked hard, perhaps built financial stability, and maybe you're in a comfortable position in life. A love bomber might target you specifically because of this stability, using gifts not just to manipulate you emotionally, but potentially to access your resources later. Some older women have spent years in relationships where they didn't feel valued or appreciated. Maybe you were with someone who forgot birthdays or never made you feel special. When someone new comes along and showers you with attention and gifts, it can feel like finally you're being treasured the way you deserve. This makes you more likely to overlook other warning signs because you're so grateful for the attention and generosity. Additionally, women who came of age in certain eras were taught that expensive gifts and grand gestures were signs of serious courtship and genuine intent. A love bomber exploits this by using traditional romantic signals to create the impression of honorable intentions when their motives are anything but. Let me give you specific examples of what excessive gift-giving and grand gestures look like in love bombing. He brings expensive gifts on the first or second date, jewelry, perfume, designer items, things that suggest a level of investment that doesn't match how well he knows you or what you've expressed interest in. He makes grand romantic gestures like showing up with dozens of roses at your workplace, booking surprise weekend getaways after you've only been dating a few weeks, or arranging elaborate surprise parties or dinners. He gives you gifts that are strangely personal or intimate considering how long you've known each other. Perhaps keys to his place after a few dates, or expensive items like electronics or furniture that seem designed to integrate your lives together quickly. He insists on paying for everything, absolutely refusing to let you contribute, and making you feel uncomfortable or guilty if you try to maintain some financial independence in the relationship. He makes extravagant plans for your future together that involve significant financial commitments. Talking about buying a house together, taking extended international trips, or making investments as a couple before you've even established a stable, long-term relationship. He uses gifts as a way to push past boundaries, giving you things that require you to see him or depend on him, like a gym membership at his gym, tickets to events spread over several months, or items that necessitate his help or presence. He makes his gift-giving very public, posting about what he's given you on social media, telling friends and family about the expensive things he's bought you, essentially creating a public narrative of how generous and devoted he is. The gifts escalate quickly, starting with flowers and moving to jewelry, expensive electronics, or even offering to pay your bills or make major purchases for you. Now, here's what makes this so manipulative and why it's such a clear sign of love bombing. These gifts and gestures aren't really about you at all. A genuine gift is given with no strings attached, no expectations, just the pure desire to make someone happy. Love-bombing gifts come with invisible strings that tie you to the giver. Every expensive present, every grand gesture creates a psychological burden. You might feel like you can't break up with someone who's been so generous to you. You might feel guilty setting boundaries with someone who's given you so much. You might question your own judgment, thinking, how can someone who treats me so well be bad for me? This is exactly what the love bomber wants. They want you confused, obligated, and unable to think clearly about the relationship. Moreover, these excessive gifts often replace genuine emotional intimacy and compatibility. Instead of taking the time to really know you, to understand your values, your needs, your authentic self, the love bomber substitutes material gestures for real connection. It's easier to buy an expensive necklace than to have vulnerable conversations. It's simpler to book a fancy resort than to navigate the complexities of real intimacy. For older women specifically, there are additional dangers. If you have assets, savings, or property, a love bomber might use gift-giving as a way to establish a pattern of financial exchange that they'll later exploit. They might give you gifts to make you feel comfortable accepting financial help from them, which then creates a dynamic where they're involved in your financial life. Or they might give you extravagant gifts to make themselves appear financially secure and successful when they're actually in debt or looking for someone to support them. Sometimes, love bombers will give gifts that are secretly about control. For example, giving you a new phone and insisting you use it instead of your old one, but the phone has tracking software or they know all the passwords, or offering to pay for services like house cleaning or home security, but then they have access to your home or information about your routines. There's also the issue of public gift giving. When someone makes a big show of their generosity, posting about it on social media, or making sure others know what they've given you, they're doing several things. They're creating a public image of themselves as a generous, devoted partner, which makes it harder for you to later explain why you left them. How do you tell people that the person who seemed so wonderful was actually manipulating you? They're also pressuring you to reciprocate publicly, to perform gratitude and devotion, which deepens your investment in the relationship. So how do you distinguish between generous affection and manipulative love bombing? Here are the key differences. Thoughtful gifts in a healthy relationship are appropriate to the stage of the relationship. Early on, they're small and thoughtful, showing attention to things you've mentioned or expressed interest in. They grow over time as the relationship deepens. A genuine partner respects your boundaries around gift giving. If you say this is too much or I'm not comfortable accepting this, they'll understand and back off. A love bomber will insist, push, or make you feel bad for not accepting their generosity. Healthy gift giving is about the recipient's pleasure, not the giver's agenda. The person giving the gift feels joy in your happiness, not satisfaction in having created obligation or debt. Real love doesn't need grand gestures to prove itself. It shows up consistently in small daily ways. It's present in the conversation, the thoughtfulness, the respect, the compatibility, not just in the expensive presents and elaborate plans. What should you do if you recognize this sign? First, pay attention to how gifts make you feel. Do they feel genuine and thoughtful, or do they feel overwhelming and obligating? Trust that feeling. Second, don't be afraid to set boundaries around gift giving. It's completely appropriate to say, I appreciate the thought, but this is too much. I'd prefer we keep things simpler while we're getting to know each other. Third, watch for the strings. Does the person ever reference what they've given you when they want something from you? Do they use their generosity as leverage in arguments or to make you feel guilty? These are major red flags. Fourth, don't let gifts replace substance. Ask yourself, beyond the presents and grand gestures, is there real compatibility here? Do we share values? Do I feel respected? Can we communicate well? Are they consistent and reliable in the everyday moments, not just the grand ones? Remember, you don't need to be bought. Your time, your attention, your affection, these are valuable things that should be earned through genuine connection, not purchased with expensive gifts. You've lived long enough to know that the most meaningful gestures are often the smallest ones. The person who remembers how you take your coffee, who listens when you talk about your day, who respects your boundaries, who shows up consistently over time. Don't let yourself be dazzled by grand gestures into ignoring the fundamentals of healthy relationships. Your wisdom and experience have taught you what really matters. Trust that knowledge. Sign 4. Isolation from friends and family. The fourth critical sign that you're being love-bombed is when someone subtly or overtly works to separate you from your friends, family and support system, creating a dynamic where they become your primary or only close relationship. This is perhaps one of the most dangerous signs because isolation is a key component of almost every form of abuse and manipulation. When you're isolated, you don't have people around you who can offer perspective, point out concerning behaviors, or support you if you need to leave the relationship. You become dependent on the person who isolated you, which is exactly what they want. Now, isolation in love bombing typically doesn't happen all at once, and it often doesn't look overtly controlling at first. It's usually a gradual process that's disguised as love, devotion, or special connection. The love bomber makes you feel like your relationship with them is so unique, so special, so consuming, that other relationships pale in comparison. They make it seem like nobody else understands what you have together. And slowly, almost imperceptibly, those other relationships start to fade. For older women, this isolation can take specific forms and carries particular risks. Let me explain. Many older women have tight-knit circles of friends, especially female friends, who have been part of their lives for decades. These friendships are often characterized by honesty, loyalty, and the kind of deep understanding that only comes with time. A love bomber sees these relationships as threats because these friends know you well. They can see through manipulation and they're likely to raise concerns. If you have adult children, a love bomber might try to create distance between you and them. They might subtly criticize your children, suggest that your children take advantage of you, or create conflicts that make you feel like you have to choose between your new partner and your family. For women who've already experienced tension with adult children, perhaps around remarrying or dating after losing a spouse, this manipulation can be particularly effective if you're part of community organizations, religious groups, or volunteer activities. A love bomber might discourage your participation. They'll frame it as wanting to spend more time together or suggest that you're too generous with your time and should focus more on yourself and your relationship with them. Gradually, your world shrinks. Some older women have established routines and social activities that give their lives structure and meaning. Weekly card games, book clubs, exercise classes, regular lunch dates with friends. A love bomber will work to disrupt these routines, creating conflicts or making plans that compete with your established commitments, forcing you to choose, and then making you feel guilty or difficult if you choose your prior commitment over them. Let me give you specific examples of what isolation tactics look like. He speaks negatively about your friends or family, perhaps in subtle ways at first. He might say your friends seem judgmental or that your family doesn't appreciate you the way he does. He suggests that people close to you don't want you to be happy or are jealous of your new relationship. He creates conflicts around social events, seeming disappointed or hurt when you want to spend time with others, or picking fights before you're supposed to meet friends so that you're too upset or distracted to enjoy yourself. He monopolizes your time so completely that you don't have opportunities to maintain other relationships, always having plans, needing your attention, or creating situations where canceling on him would make you feel terribly guilty. He insists on being included in everything, not respecting that some relationships and activities are separate from your romantic relationship. When you want to have lunch with a friend alone, he seems hurt or suggests coming along. When your daughter calls, he hovers and wants to know what you talked about afterward. He criticizes how you spend your time when you're not with him, implying that your hobbies, friendships, or activities are silly, wasteful, or unimportant compared to your relationship with him. He creates an us against the world dynamic, suggesting that only he truly understands you, only he really cares about you, and that other people are less important, or even harmful to your well-being. He shares confidential or embarrassing information about you with your friends or family in a way that creates awkwardness or tension in those relationships. Or conversely, he shares things about your relationship that make others uncomfortable, creating distance because people don't want to be in the middle of your intimate life. He moves quickly to integrate himself into your life in ways that make it hard to separate your social world from him, becoming friends with your friends on social media, showing up at places where he knows you and your friends gather, or inserting himself into family events before you've even established that the relationship is serious and long-term. Here's why isolation is so dangerous and why it's such a clear indicator of love bombing and future abuse. First, it eliminates your reality check. Friends and family who love you can often see things you can't see when you're caught up in the intensity of a new relationship. They can point out contradictions, notice when his stories don't add up, or recognize controlling behaviors that you might be excusing or rationalizing. Second, isolation increases your emotional dependence on the person who's isolating you. When they become your primary source of social interaction, emotional support, and validation, you become afraid of losing them because it would mean being alone. This fear makes you more likely to tolerate unacceptable behavior and less likely to leave even when you know you should. Third, isolation makes it harder to leave if the relationship becomes abusive. If you've been cut off from friends and family, if those relationships have deteriorated or become strained, reaching out for help becomes much more difficult. You might feel ashamed, worry that people will say, "I told you so," or simply not have those support systems available anymore. Fourth, isolation allows the love bomber's manipulation and abuse to escalate without witnesses or accountability. if nobody else is around to see how they treat you, if you've been separated from people who could call out unacceptable behavior, then the love bomber has free rein to show their true nature without consequence. For older women, isolation carries additional risks. If you're manipulated out of your financial resources, having no friends or family to turn to can mean facing financial crisis alone. If the relationship turns physically or emotionally abusive, isolation means you have fewer people to reach out to for help or perspective. If health issues arise, being isolated from family and friends means you might become inappropriately dependent on a partner who's actually exploiting you. There's also the tragic reality that some love bombers who target older women are specifically looking to exploit them financially or even worse, harm them, knowing that isolated older adults are more vulnerable. Isolation is often a precursor to elder abuse, financial exploitation, or neglect. So how do you recognize if someone is isolating you, especially if it's happening gradually? Here are some questions to ask yourself. Have I seen my closest friends less frequently since I started this relationship? Does my partner often have a reason why I shouldn't attend social events or family gatherings? When I spend time with others, does my partner seem upset, sulk, or pick a fight afterward?
Do I feel guilty when I choose to spend time with friends or family instead of with my partner?
Has my partner said negative things about people who are important to me? Do I find myself defending my partner to friends and family, or avoiding telling them about things that happen in our relationship because I know they'll be concerned? Have I stopped participating in activities or groups that used to be important to me? Does my partner know all my passwords, read my messages, or monitor my communications with others? Do I feel like my world has gotten smaller since this relationship began? When I imagine ending the relationship, does the thought of being alone seem overwhelming because they've become my primary support system? If you answered yes to several of these questions, you're likely experiencing isolation as part of a love bombing and manipulation pattern. Here's what you need to do. Recognize it for what it is. This isn't love. Love doesn't require you to give up other important relationships. Love doesn't create an either-or dynamic where you have to choose between a partner and everyone else who cares about you. Reconnect with your support system. Reach out to friends and family you've been distant from. Explain if you need to. Real friends and family who love you will be relieved to hear from you and will welcome you back without judgment. Maintain boundaries around your other relationships. It's not only okay, but healthy to have friendships, family relationships, and activities that don't include your romantic partner. Don't let anyone make you feel guilty for this. Trust the concerns of people who love you. If multiple people who care about you are raising red flags about your partner, take that seriously. They're seeing something from the outside that you might not be able to see from the inside. Know that you can leave. Isolation makes leaving feel impossible, but it's not. There are resources, there are people who will help, and rebuilding your support system is possible even if it's been damaged. Remember, healthy love expands your life. It might shift your priorities, but it doesn't eliminate your other important relationships. A partner who truly loves you will want you to have a rich, full life that includes people you care about. They'll understand that your capacity to love them is enhanced, not diminished, by having other meaningful relationships. You've spent years building friendships, maintaining family bonds, and creating community. Don't let anyone convince you that loving them requires abandoning all of that. Your connections to others are part of who you are. Protect them. They might just save your life. Sign 5. Mirroring and too perfect compatibility. The fifth and perhaps most subtle sign of love bombing is when someone seems almost eerily perfect for you, mirroring your interests, values, beliefs, and desires so completely that it feels like you've met your soulmate, when in reality, they're strategically becoming whatever they think you want them to be. This is called mirroring, and it's one of the most sophisticated and effective tools in a manipulator's arsenal. It works because we all want to feel understood, seen, and connected to someone who shares our worldview and values. When we meet someone who seems to be on exactly our wavelength, it feels magical. It feels like destiny. But when that perfect compatibility appears instantly, before someone has had time to genuinely know you, it's not magic or destiny. It's manipulation. A love bomber who uses mirroring will quickly gather information about you, your passions, your dreams, your past, your pain points, and your desires, and then reflect all of it back to you. They become a perfect mirror, showing you exactly what you want to see. They share your obscure hobby. They've had the same difficult experiences. They want the exact same future you want. They feel the same way about things that really matter to you. Every conversation reveals another stunning similarity, another piece of evidence that you're perfectly matched. For older women, this tactic is particularly effective for several important reasons. By the time you reach a certain age, you know yourself well. You know what you value, what you want in a partner, what you're not willing to compromise on. This self-knowledge makes you more discerning in some ways, but it also makes you more vulnerable to mirroring, because when someone appears to match those clearly defined criteria, it seems like the real deal. Many older women have been through relationships where compatibility was lacking, where they compromised on important things, or where they felt fundamentally misunderstood. When someone seems to understand you perfectly from the very beginning, it can feel like you've finally found what you've been searching for. It validates your belief that the right person is out there, and it makes you let your guard down. Women of a certain generation were often taught to look for specific qualities in a partner: shared values, similar background, compatible life goals. A love bomber exploits this by presenting themselves as having all the qualities on your checklist, even if they have to fake every single one. If you're a woman who's been widowed, you might have grief around never finding another connection like the one you lost. A love bomber might learn about your late spouse and mirror not just your interests, but even qualities your spouse had, making you feel like you've been given a second chance at that kind of love. Let me give you specific examples of what mirroring looks like in love bombing. You mention that you love a particular author, artist, or type of music, and they immediately claim it's their favorite too. But when you try to discuss it in depth, their knowledge seems superficial, or they deflect to talking about how special it is that you share this interest. You talk about your values, maybe faith, family, honesty, independence, and they enthusiastically agree, sharing stories that demonstrate they hold the same values. But later, their actions don't align with what they claimed to believe. You describe your ideal future, perhaps traveling, downsizing, spending time with grandchildren, or pursuing creative interests, and they declare that they want exactly the same things, even if these things contradict what they said they wanted before they knew your preferences. You share something vulnerable about your past: a difficult divorce, a strained relationship with a family member, a health scare, and they immediately share a remarkably similar experience, creating a bond of shared understanding. You mention a problem or complaint, maybe about your living situation, your health, or your family dynamics, and they position themselves as the solution, as if they were custom-made to fix exactly what's wrong in your life. They adopt your speech patterns, your phrases, even your opinions about minor things, like how you take your coffee or what you think about a current event. It creates an unsettling sensation of talking to an echo of yourself. They quickly and thoroughly integrate themselves into your interests, wanting to attend your book club, take up your hobby, volunteer for your causes, but it doesn't feel like they're sharing your life so much as absorbing it. Here's why mirroring is so dangerous and why it's such a clear sign of love bombing. First, it creates a false intimacy. You believe you know this person deeply because of all the things you supposedly have in common, but you don't actually know them at all. You know the character they're playing, the version of themselves they've crafted to hook you. Second, it speeds up your trust and investment in the relationship. When someone seems so perfectly compatible, you naturally feel safe opening up more, committing faster, and letting them into your life more fully than you would with someone you're still getting to know. This is exactly what the love bomber wants, because once you're deeply invested emotionally, financially, or socially, it's harder to leave when the mask inevitably slips. Third, mirroring sets you up for devastating disappointment and confusion later. When the person stops maintaining the mirroring, when their true personality, values, and desires emerge, and they're nothing like what they pretended to be, you're left questioning everything. You feel betrayed, foolish, and deeply confused. How did you miss the signs? How could someone you felt so connected to be a complete stranger? Fourth, mirroring is often combined with future faking, where they make elaborate plans for a future that they have no intention of actually pursuing. They describe the life you'll build together, the trips you'll take, the ways you'll support each other, all based on this supposed perfect compatibility. These future plans feel real because they're so specific and aligned with what you want, but they're just another manipulation tactic. For older women specifically, there are unique ways mirroring manifests and unique reasons it's dangerous. A love bomber might research you online before you even meet, looking at your social media, reading your public posts, finding out about your interests, your family, your values, and coming to that first date already equipped with information they use to manufacture connection. If you're a woman of means, they might mirror not just your personality but your lifestyle, claiming to have similar financial status or success, making you feel like you're meeting an equal partner, when in reality they might be targeting you for financial exploitation. They might mirror your desire for a certain type of relationship, perhaps someone who's not interested in your money, who wants a true partnership, who values you for who you are, all while planning exactly the opposite. Some love bombers who target older women will mirror grief or loss, claiming to understand your experience with widowhood or divorce because they've been through something similar, using this manufactured shared experience to accelerate intimacy and trust. They might mirror your relationship with adult children, claiming to have similar family dynamics, which makes you feel understood and less alone in whatever challenges you're facing with your own family. So how do you distinguish between genuine compatibility and manipulative mirroring? Here are the key differences. Real compatibility reveals itself gradually over time. You discover shared interests and values through ongoing conversations and experiences, not all in the first few dates or conversations. Someone who's genuinely compatible with you will also have differences, their own unique interests, perspectives, and preferences that sometimes complement yours and sometimes create interesting discussions or compromises. Perfect agreement on everything is actually a red flag, not a sign of soulmate connection. A genuine person has a consistent history that predates meeting you. Their interests, values, and lifestyle didn't suddenly appear to match yours. They have long-standing friendships, hobbies, commitments, and patterns that you can verify over time. In healthy, developing relationships, both people remain individuals even as they build connection. There's room for each person's unique identity, not one person disappearing into mirroring the other. Real shared values are demonstrated through actions over time, not just claimed in conversations. Someone who says they value honesty proves it by being truthful even when it's difficult. Someone who says family is important shows it through their actual relationships with family members, not just by agreeing when you talk about your family values. What should you do if you recognize mirroring? First, slow down. I know I've said this before, but it bears repeating. When something feels too perfect, too aligned, too much like destiny, resist the urge to rush forward. Take time to see if this apparent compatibility holds up over weeks and months, not just days. Second, test the compatibility. Have deeper conversations about the things you supposedly have in common. If they claim to love something you love, explore that together and see if their interest seems genuine or superficial. If they claim to hold certain values, observe whether their actions match their words. Third, introduce them to people who know you well. Friends and family can often spot mirroring or fake compatibility because they're not caught up in the emotional intensity of the new relationship. If people who love you seem skeptical about how perfect this person seems, take that seriously. Fourth, maintain your own identity. Don't get so swept up in this perfect connection that you lose sight of who you are independently. Keep your own interests, opinions, and preferences. A healthy partner will appreciate your uniqueness, not expect you to merge completely with them. Fifth, watch for what happens when you disagree or have different preferences. A genuine partner can handle differences with respect and interest. A love bomber who's been mirroring you might react poorly when you deviate from the script they've been following, showing irritation, trying to change your mind, or withdrawing affection. Remember, real love isn't about finding someone who's exactly like you or who wants exactly what you want. It's about finding someone who respects and values you, who's genuinely interested in understanding you, and who can navigate differences with kindness and maturity. Compatibility matters, but it develops authentically over time through honest communication, and shared experiences. You've lived long enough to know that perfection doesn't exist in people or relationships. When someone appears perfect, question it. When someone seems to magically be everything you've been looking for, look closer. Your experience has taught you that the best relationships are built on authenticity, not illusion. Trust that wisdom. It will protect you from those who would use the illusion of perfect compatibility to exploit your trust and your heart. Understanding the love bombing cycle now. That we've explored the 5 major signs of love bombing, it's crucial that you understand the bigger picture of what's actually happening and why. Love bombing isn't just a collection of concerning behaviors. It's phase 1 of a predictable cycle of abuse and manipulation. Understanding this cycle can help you recognize not just that you're being love bombed, but what's likely coming next if you don't protect yourself. The cycle typically has several phases, and love bombing is the first, the idealization phase. This is where everything we've been discussing happens. The excessive attention, the premature declarations of love, the overwhelming gifts, the perfect compatibility, all of it. During this phase, the manipulator puts you on a pedestal. You're perfect, you're special, you're everything they've ever wanted. This phase is intoxicating, designed to get you emotionally hooked and deeply invested. But here's what you need to understand. This phase is not sustainable, and it was never meant to be. No one can maintain that level of intensity indefinitely, and more importantly, a love bomber never intended to. The idealization phase is bait. Once you're hooked, once you've reorganized your life around them, once you've become emotionally dependent and let your guard down, the mask starts to slip. This leads to phase 2, which is often called the devaluation phase. This is where the person who seemed so perfect starts to show their true nature. The constant attention and affection decrease or become conditional. The person who couldn't get enough of you starts criticizing you, finding fault, comparing you unfavorably to others, or becoming distant and cold. For older women, this phase is particularly devastating because the contrast is so stark. The person who made you feel beautiful, desirable, and cherished now makes you feel inadequate, unappreciated, or foolish. You don't understand what changed. You might think it's something you did, so you try harder to win back the version of them from the love bombing phase. This is exactly what they want. They've trained you to seek their approval and to tolerate unacceptable behavior in exchange for occasional returns to the intensity of the beginning. The devaluation phase might include criticism of your appearance, your intelligence, your choices, or your past. It might involve them starting to compare you to other women, suggesting you're not as interesting, attractive, or fun as you used to be. They might start withdrawing affection and attention as punishment when you don't comply with their wishes. They might begin breaking promises, canceling plans, or showing up late, treating your time as less valuable than theirs. This is where the isolation you experienced during the love bombing phase becomes truly dangerous. If you've been cut off from friends and family, you have no one to turn to, no one to tell you that this behavior is unacceptable, no one to support you in leaving. You're alone with someone who's systematically destroying your self-esteem and making you doubt your own perception of reality. Phase 3 is often called the discard phase, though it doesn't always look like an ending. Sometimes the manipulator will literally end the relationship, often cruelly and suddenly, leaving you confused and devastated. Other times, they'll keep you around but reduce you to a secondary position in their life, perhaps while they pursue other relationships or interests. They might maintain just enough contact to keep you hoping for a return to how things were in the beginning. But that return never comes, or it's only temporary before the cycle repeats. For older women, the discard phase can be especially traumatic. If you've introduced this person to your family, integrated them into your life, or made financial or living arrangements with them in mind, the sudden shift is not just emotionally devastating, but practically disruptive. If they've exploited you financially, the discard might come once they've gotten what they wanted, leaving you to deal with the emotional and financial fallout alone. Here's the truly insidious part of this cycle. After devaluation or discard, many manipulators will loop back to a modified version of love bombing, often called hoovering, named after the vacuum cleaner because they're trying to suck you back in. They might show up with apologies, gifts, promises that things will be different, explanations for their behavior, and enough of the original charm to make you think maybe it wasn't as bad as you thought. Maybe they really have changed. Maybe you can get back to how things were in the beginning. If you take them back, the cycle often repeats, sometimes multiple times, with each iteration potentially becoming shorter and more intense. The love bombing phases get briefer, the devaluation phases get harsher, and your emotional and mental health deteriorates more with each cycle. This is why it's so crucial to recognize the love bombing signs early and protect yourself before you're caught in this cycle. Understanding this cycle helps you see love bombing not as flattering attention from someone who's just really into you, but as the first phase of a deliberate manipulation strategy. It helps you understand that the intensity of the beginning wasn't about love, it was about control. It helps you know that if you're experiencing devaluation after a period of idealization, you're not imagining things, you're not being too sensitive, and it's not your fault. You're experiencing a predictable pattern of abuse. Why love bombers target older women? Before we move toward the conclusion, I think it's important to directly address why older women are specifically targeted by love bombers and what makes this demographic particularly vulnerable to these manipulation tactics. Understanding this isn't about blaming victims. It's about recognizing the specific factors that predators exploit so you can be aware and protect yourself. First, let's talk about financial security. Many older women have spent a lifetime working, saving, and building assets. They might own their homes, have retirement savings, receive pension or social security income, or have investments. For love bombers who are motivated by financial gain, this makes older women attractive targets. The love bombing phase builds trust quickly so they can access these resources through requests for loans, joint investments, or by gradually integrating themselves into your financial life. Second, life stage vulnerability. Many older women are at a stage where they've experienced significant loss or transition. Maybe you've been widowed and are navigating grief while also feeling lonely and craving companionship. Maybe you've been through a divorce and are re-entering the dating world after decades, feeling uncertain and vulnerable. Maybe your children are grown and you're experiencing empty nest syndrome or feeling like you're no longer needed in the same way. Love bombers exploit these vulnerabilities by positioning themselves as the solution to your loneliness, the person who makes you feel wanted and needed again. Third, generational conditioning. Women who came of age in certain eras were often socialized to be nurturing, to see the best in people, to give second chances, and to work on relationships rather than walking away when things get difficult. These are beautiful qualities, but they can make you more likely to excuse red flags, rationalize concerning behavior, and stay in situations that aren't healthy. Love bombers know this and exploit it. Fourth, the desire not to waste time. At a certain point in life, many women feel like they don't have time to waste on relationships that aren't going anywhere. If you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, you might feel urgency about finding companionship. Love bombers exploit this by creating the illusion of serious commitment right from the start, making you feel like you've found what you're looking for quickly, which short-circuits your usual caution. Fifth, social isolation and loneliness. Some older women, particularly those who've lost a spouse or who don't have family nearby, experience significant loneliness. This loneliness makes the intense attention and companionship of a love bomber feel even more intoxicating and harder to walk away from, even when red flags appear. Sixth, changes in dating landscape. If you're dating after a long marriage, the landscape has changed dramatically. Online dating, dating apps, and the culture around modern dating are all very different from what you might have experienced in your youth. This can leave you feeling uncertain about what's normal, what's appropriate, and how to read situations, making it harder to recognize when something is manipulative versus just different from what you're used to. Seventh, stereotypes about desirability. Society often sends messages that older women are less desirable, less visible, less valuable than younger women. This is absolutely untrue and deeply unfair, but these messages can create vulnerability. When someone comes along and makes you feel intensely desired and appreciated, it can override your better judgment because you're so grateful for the validation. Eighth, trusting nature and life experience. Paradoxically, having lived a good life, having been in healthy relationships, and having treated others well can make you vulnerable. If you've been trustworthy and have mostly dealt with trustworthy people, you might be less suspicious, less cynical, and more inclined to take people at their word. Love bombers seek out people like this because they're easier to manipulate. Finally, potential cognitive changes. As we age, some people experience subtle cognitive changes that can affect judgment or make them more susceptible to manipulation. Love bombers sometimes specifically target individuals they perceive as having these vulnerabilities. This is a form of elder abuse and is absolutely not the victim's fault. But it's a reality we need to acknowledge so we can protect ourselves and our loved ones. Understanding why you might be targeted isn't about accepting blame. It's about being aware and vigilant. The very qualities that make you a wonderful person, your generosity, your trust, your desire for connection, your life experience, these can be exploited by people with malicious intent. But understanding the tactics and the targeting can help you protect yourself without becoming closed off or cynical. You can remain open to genuine connection while also being smart about protecting yourself. You can be warm and trusting with people who prove themselves worthy over time, while being appropriately cautious with new people who come on too strong too fast. You can honor your desire for companionship while also honoring your wisdom and intuition about what's healthy and what's not. Protecting yourself. Practical strategies now that you understand what love bombing is, how to recognize the signs, and why older women are targeted. Let's talk about practical strategies to protect yourself. This isn't about becoming suspicious of everyone or closing your heart to possibilities. It's about dating and forming new relationships with wisdom, awareness, and healthy boundaries. First, and most importantly, slow down. This is the single most effective protection against love bombing. Predators who use love bombing tactics rely on speed and intensity to bypass your better judgment. They need to hook you before you have time to think clearly or notice red flags. By consciously slowing things down, you take away their primary weapon. What does slowing down look like practically? It means not seeing someone every single day in the early stages of dating, no matter how much they push for it. It means maintaining your regular routine, your friendships, your activities, even when someone new and exciting enters your life. It means taking time between dates to reflect on what you're learning about this person. Are their actions consistent with their words? Are you noticing anything concerning? How do you actually feel beneath the excitement and flattery? It means setting and maintaining a reasonable timeline for relationship milestones. You don't move in together after 6 weeks. You don't give someone access to your finances after a few months. You don't dramatically reorganize your life or make major decisions based on a relationship that hasn't weathered at least a full year of experiences together. Real love can wait. Manipulation cannot. Second, maintain your independence and support system. This is crucial. No matter how wonderful a new relationship seems, keep your existing relationships active and healthy. Continue seeing your friends regularly. Stay connected with family. Keep going to your book club, your exercise class, your volunteer activities. These relationships and activities serve multiple protective functions. They keep you grounded in your identity outside the new relationship. They provide perspective from people who care about you and can offer objective observations. They give you a safety net of support if things go wrong. If someone you're dating has a problem with you maintaining these other relationships and commitments, that's a major red flag. A healthy partner will be glad you have a full, rich life. They'll want to eventually be integrated into that life, not replace it entirely. Third, trust your instincts. You have decades of life experience and accumulated wisdom. If something feels off, it probably is. Our instincts are incredibly sophisticated information processing systems that pick up on inconsistencies, dangers, and dishonesty even when we can't consciously articulate what's wrong. Don't override your gut feelings just because someone is charming or flattering or because you don't want to seem cynical. If you feel uncomfortable with how fast things are moving, honor that feeling. If someone's excessive generosity feels more obligating than delightful, pay attention to that. If the intensity of someone's attention feels overwhelming rather than wonderful, that's information. Your discomfort isn't something to be talked out of or ignored. It's your inner wisdom trying to protect you. Fourth, do your homework. In the modern dating world, this is easier than ever, and there's no shame in it. If you meet someone online or through a dating app, do some basic research. Look them up on social media. Google their name. See if their story about where they work, where they went to school, or where they live checks out. You're not being paranoid or distrustful. You're being smart. If someone gets defensive or angry about you doing basic verification of the information they've given you, that itself is concerning. Someone with nothing to hide won't be bothered by normal caution. Be especially wary of people who have minimal online presence in an age where most people have some digital footprint, or people whose online information doesn't match what they've told you. Fifth, watch for consistency over time. One of the hallmarks of manipulation is inconsistency. The person's words don't match their actions. Their story changes in small ways. They seem different around their friends than they are with you. Their financial situation, their relationship history, or their living situation has details that don't quite add up. In the love bombing phase, manipulators are very careful about maintaining their facade. But if you pay attention, cracks usually appear. Someone who claims to be financially successful, but never seems to have money. Someone who says family is everything to them, but never actually spends time with their family or speaks negatively about them. Someone whose explanation for being single at their age doesn't quite make sense, or who's vague about their relationship history. Document these inconsistencies. Sometimes when you're caught up in the emotional intensity, it's easy to forget or dismiss little things that didn't add up. Writing them down or talking about them with a trusted friend can help you see patterns you might miss otherwise. Sixth, have important conversations before getting deeply involved. Before you commit seriously to anyone, you need to have frank discussions about things that matter. Financial situation and expectations around money, relationship history and what ended previous relationships, family dynamics and what role you'd each play in each other's families, health status and any significant medical issues, living situation and long-term plans, expectations about the relationship, marriage, cohabitation, financial merging, or remaining independent. Someone who's being genuine will be willing to have these conversations, even if they're uncomfortable. They'll understand that at your stage of life, there are practical considerations that need to be addressed. A love bomber will often avoid these conversations, change the subject, or give vague or inconsistent answers. Seventh, set and maintain clear boundaries. Decide in advance what your boundaries are and stick to them. Maybe your boundary is that you won't introduce someone to your family until you've been dating for 6 months. Maybe it's that you won't loan money to someone you're dating. Maybe it's that you won't give anyone access to your home, your finances, or your personal information until the relationship has been established for a significant period and proven itself stable and trustworthy. When you set boundaries, a healthy partner will respect them. They might be disappointed sometimes, but they'll understand and accept your limits. A love bomber will push against your boundaries, try to make you feel guilty for having them, or frame your boundaries as evidence that you don't really care about them. Eighth, don't keep the relationship secret. I know sometimes in the early stages of dating, especially if you're coming from a more conservative generation or community, there can be a desire to keep a new relationship private. But secrecy is dangerous. Make sure people who care about you know you're dating someone new. Introduce this person to friends and family at an appropriate time. Let people who love you meet them and form their own impressions. If someone wants to keep your relationship secret, that's a red flag. There are very few legitimate reasons for a mature adult to want to hide a relationship, and many bad ones. Secrecy protects manipulators and puts you at risk. Ninth, know the warning signs of financial exploitation specifically. Many love bombers who target older women have financial exploitation as their ultimate goal. Be extremely cautious about anyone who asks to borrow money, especially early in the relationship or frequently. Anyone who suggests you invest in opportunities they're involved in. Anyone who wants to be added to your bank accounts, credit cards, property deeds, or will. Anyone who asks about your financial situation in detail or seems very interested in your assets. Anyone who suggests you help them financially because you can afford it and it would prove your love.
Never give anyone money you can't afford to lose, no matter how compelling their story or how much you care about them. Never make major financial decisions quickly, especially under pressure. Always consult with a financial advisor or attorney
before making significant financial commitments to someone you're in a relationship with. Don't let love or pressure override your financial common sense. 10th, know how to get help if you need it. If you realize you're in a situation that's become manipulative or abusive, know that help is available. There are domestic violence hotlines, elder abuse reporting systems, legal aid organizations, and support groups specifically for people dealing with these situations. You're never too old to leave an unhealthy situation. You're never too far in to turn back. Reaching out for help isn't admitting failure. It's reclaiming your power and protecting yourself. Finally, remember that protecting yourself doesn't mean closing your heart. You can be smart and cautious while still being open to genuine connection. You can maintain boundaries while still being warm and engaging. You can take relationships slowly while still enjoying them. Healthy love will honor your wisdom and caution. It won't be threatened by it. The right person, someone who genuinely cares about you, will be glad that you're thoughtful and careful about who you trust. They'll appreciate that you value yourself enough to protect yourself. They'll be willing to earn your trust over time rather than demanding it immediately, and they'll show through consistent actions over months and years that they deserve the trust you gradually give them. Protection isn't about building walls. It's about building a strong foundation. It's about making sure that what you're building is real, sustainable, and based on genuine compatibility and mutual respect, not on manipulation and illusion. Real love versus love bombing. Knowing the difference, I want to take a moment to talk about what real love actually looks like so you can distinguish it from love bombing. Because I don't want this video to make you cynical about romance or connection. The point isn't to distrust everyone. The point is to recognize the difference between genuine affection and manipulative tactics so you can remain open to real love while protecting yourself from exploitation. Real love is patient. It doesn't rush you or pressure you. It understands that trust is built over time through consistent, reliable behavior. Someone who genuinely loves you will be content to move at a pace that feels comfortable for both of you. They won't make you feel like you're missing out or being difficult if you want to take things slowly. Real love is respectful. It honors your boundaries, your independence, your other relationships, and your needs. Someone who truly loves you wants you to be a whole, fulfilled person, not an extension of themselves. They celebrate your individuality rather than trying to absorb you or isolate you. Real love is consistent. There isn't a dramatic disparity between the beginning of the relationship and later stages. Sure, early infatuation might be intense, but someone who genuinely loves you will show up reliably over time, not just when they're trying to hook you. Their affection doesn't wildly fluctuate based on whether you're complying with their wishes. Real love includes differences and disagreements. In healthy relationships, two people don't agree on everything, and that's okay. They can have different interests, perspectives, and preferences while still loving and respecting each other. They can disagree without one person feeling threatened or punished. Love bombing creates an illusion of perfect compatibility. Real love navigates real differences with maturity and grace. Real love supports your growth and independence. Someone who truly loves you wants you to thrive, even in ways that don't directly involve them. They encourage your friendships, your hobbies, your personal goals. They're secure enough not to need to be the only source of your happiness or identity. Real love is honest, even when honesty is uncomfortable. Someone who genuinely loves you will be truthful about their past, their present, and their feelings. They won't hide significant information or tell you only what you want to hear. They understand that real intimacy is built on authenticity, not on a carefully crafted persona. Real love shows itself in actions, not just words. Anyone can say "I love you" or make promises about the future. Someone who truly loves you demonstrates their care through consistent actions showing up when they say they will, following through on commitments, supporting you during difficult times, respecting your needs even when it's inconvenient for them. Real love makes you feel more like yourself, not less. Healthy relationships bring out the best in you, but they don't fundamentally change who you are. You shouldn't feel like you're constantly performing or trying to live up to an idealized image. You should feel accepted, valued, and comfortable being authentic. Real love includes accountability. When someone who genuinely loves you makes a mistake, they acknowledge it, apologize sincerely, and make efforts to do better. They don't manipulate you into accepting unacceptable behavior. They don't make excuses or turn everything around to be your fault. Real love builds gradually. There are stages of increasing intimacy, trust, and commitment that happen over time as you actually get to know each other in various contexts and situations. It's not instant or overwhelming. It's steady, progressive, and based on accumulated evidence that this person is trustworthy and compatible. The difference between love bombing and real love can sometimes be subtle, especially at first. Both might involve flowers, thoughtful gestures, regular communication, and expressions of affection. But if you're paying attention, the differences become clear. Real love invites you in at your own pace. Love bombing pushes you to move faster than you're comfortable. Real love respects your other commitments. Love bombing resents time you spend on anything other than the relationship. Real love wants to know the real you. Love bombing only wants you to see a carefully constructed version of them. The intensity is different too. Real love can be passionate and exciting, but it doesn't feel destabilizing or all-consuming in an unhealthy way. You don't lose yourself in it. You don't feel like you can't think straight. You don't feel pressure that overrides your better judgment. Love bombing creates such intense emotional highs that your critical thinking gets short-circuited. Trust your experience with this. You've lived long enough to know what healthy interactions feel like. You know what it's like when someone is being genuine versus when they're performing. You know what real respect feels like. You know what consistency looks like. Draw on that wisdom. Compare what you're experiencing to what you know about healthy relationships, not to what romance movies or novels tell you love should be like. Real love is worth waiting for. It's worth being patient and discerning to find. And it's worth protecting yourself from the manipulative imitations that can cause so much harm. You deserve genuine love, respect, and partnership. Don't settle for anything less just because someone knows how to create a compelling illusion. Healing and moving forward. Before we move to the conclusion, I want to address something important. If you're watching this video and recognizing that you've been love-bombed, either in your current relationship or a past one, you might be feeling a range of emotions right now. Shock, anger, grief, embarrassment, or even self-blame. I want you to hear this clearly. Being love-bombed is not your fault. You didn't cause it by being too trusting, too naive, or too eager for companionship. Love bombing is a sophisticated manipulation tactic used by people who are often very skilled at deception. They specifically target good people, kind people, trusting people, because those qualities make the manipulation more effective. Your openness and trust are not character flaws. They're actually signs of emotional health. It's the manipulator who has the character flaw, not you. If you've been through this, allow yourself to grieve. A love bombing experience is a real loss. You lost the relationship you thought you had. You lost the future you were imagining. You lost time, emotional energy, and perhaps financial resources. These are real losses that deserve to be acknowledged and mourned. But please don't let this experience make you cynical or closed off. The goal isn't to stop trusting people altogether or to approach every new connection with suspicion. The goal is to trust more wisely, to move forward with both openness and discernment, to use what you've learned to recognize red flags without seeing red flags everywhere. Healing from love bombing often requires support. Consider talking to a therapist, especially one who specializes in trauma or emotional abuse. Join a support group for people who've experienced similar manipulation. Reconnect with friends and family if the love bomber isolated you from them. Don't try to process this alone. It's also important to rebuild trust in yourself. One of the most damaging aspects of love bombing is that it can make you doubt your own judgment. You might be thinking, how did I fall for this? How did I not see it? Why did I ignore the red flags? This self-doubt can make you hesitant to trust your instincts in the future, which actually makes you more vulnerable, not less. The truth is, love bombers are often extremely convincing. They're practiced at manipulation. They know what works. Recognizing their tactics in the moment, especially if you've never encountered this behavior before, is genuinely difficult. Not seeing it doesn't mean you're foolish. It means you encountered someone skilled at deception. Moving forward, trust yourself to use what you've learned. You now know what love bombing looks like. You know the red flags. You know the questions to ask and the boundaries to set. This knowledge makes you more prepared, not more damaged. Your past experience, difficult as it was, has equipped you to protect yourself better in the future. Also recognize that healing isn't linear. You might have days where you feel strong and clear-headed, and other days where you feel vulnerable and uncertain. That's completely normal. Be patient and gentle with yourself. Give yourself time to process the experience and integrate what you've learned. If you've lost money or suffered other practical consequences from love bombing, address those issues systematically. Consult with an attorney if you need to pursue legal action. Work with a financial advisor to recover or rebuild your financial security. Take practical steps to protect yourself going forward, such as monitoring your credit, changing passwords, or taking other security measures if necessary. Most importantly, remember who you are beyond this experience. You are not defined by having been manipulated. You are defined by your character, your kindness, your wisdom, your resilience. This experience is something that happened to you, not something that defines you. You are still the valuable, worthy, capable person you were before. In fact, you're now that person with additional wisdom and awareness. When you feel ready to date again, and you will when the time is right, approach it with both openness and wisdom. Be honest about what you've learned. Take things slowly. Trust your instincts. Maintain your boundaries. Stay connected to your support system and know that real, genuine, healthy love is possible. Being love-bombed doesn't mean you're destined to only attract manipulators. It means you encountered one, you survived, and now you're wiser and stronger. There are good people out there. There are genuine, honest, kind partners who will respect you, value you, and build something real with you over time. Don't let one bad actor or even several close your heart to that possibility. Your capacity for love and connection is a strength, not a weakness. Protect it, yes. Guard it wisely, absolutely. But don't destroy it because someone tried to exploit it. You've overcome challenges before. You've survived losses, disappointments, and difficult times. You've rebuilt, adapted, and moved forward. This is no different. You have the strength, wisdom, and support to heal from this experience and create the life and relationships you deserve. Trust in that resilience. You've got this. Thank you so much for staying with me through this important conversation. I know this was a lot of information, and some of it might have been difficult to hear, especially if you recognized yourself in any of the situations I described. But knowledge is power, and understanding these manipulation tactics is the first step toward protecting yourself and empowering yourself to make healthy relationship choices. Let me summarize the 5 critical signs we discussed today. First, excessive and premature declarations of love, when someone tells you they love you or talks about forever before they've had time to truly know you. Second, overwhelming attention and communication that makes it difficult to maintain your normal life and boundaries. Third, excessive gift-giving and grand gestures that seem designed to create obligation rather than simply delight you. Fourth, isolation from friends and family, gradually separating you from your support system. And fifth, mirroring and too perfect compatibility, when someone seems almost eerily perfect for you right from the start. Remember, any one of these signs should give you pause. Multiple signs together are serious warning signs that you need to slow down, step back, and reassess what's really happening in your relationship. Trust your instincts. If something feels too intense, too fast, too perfect, or too good to be true, honor that feeling. Your intuition is trying to protect you. I want to emphasize again that this information isn't meant to make you cynical or afraid of relationships. It's meant to empower you to engage in relationships wisely, to distinguish between genuine love and manipulation, and to protect yourself while remaining open to authentic connection. You deserve real love, honest partnership, and relationships that enhance your life, rather than consume or diminish it. Before we end, I want to ask for your help in spreading this important message. If this video provided valuable information that could protect other women, please take a moment to like this video. Your likes help this content reach more people who need to see it. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you never miss content that empowers and protects you. We have so many more important topics to discuss, and I don't want you to miss any of them. Your comments are incredibly valuable to this community. Please share your thoughts below. Have you experienced any of these signs in a relationship? Do you have advice for other women navigating the dating world? Your stories and insights help create a supportive community where we can all learn from each other's experiences. I read every comment, and your engagement helps other viewers feel less alone in their experiences. And if you found this video truly helpful and want to support the channel in creating more content like this, please consider using the Super Thanks feature. Your financial support, whatever amount feels right for you, helps us continue producing in-depth, well-researched content on topics that matter to women at every stage of life. It allows us to dedicate time to creating resources that genuinely help and empower our community. Every Super Thanks is deeply appreciated and directly supports our mission to provide valuable, empowering content. I also want to remind you that if you're currently in a situation that feels unsafe, manipulative or abusive help is available. Don't hesitate to reach out to domestic violence resources, elder abuse hotlines, or local support services. You don't have to navigate this alone. There are people and organizations dedicated to helping you. As we close, I want to leave you with this. You are valuable. You are worthy of respect, honesty, and genuine love. You don't need to accept less than you deserve just because you want companionship or because someone makes you feel special temporarily. Your years of life experience have given you wisdom. Trust that wisdom. Use it to protect yourself while remaining open to the beauty of authentic connection. Real love doesn't need to be rushed. It doesn't need to overwhelm or isolate you. It doesn't need grand gestures to prove itself. Real love shows up consistently, respects your boundaries, values your independence, and builds over time on a foundation of trust, honesty, and genuine compatibility. That's what you deserve. Don't settle for anything less. Thank you again for spending this time with me today. I hope you found this video informative and empowering. Remember, you're part of a community of strong, wise, wonderful women who support each other. Take care of yourself. Trust yourself. Protect yourself. And know that you are never alone on this journey. Until next time, be well and stay empowered.